community and you travel industry suppliers who gave so generously, above and beyond what we've ever had before, to give us the core of 45 fantastic vacation experiences. We all thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and Doc Hendley thanks you because we benefit greatly by your generosity, and you are changing the world too, so don't forget that. Thank you very much for it. It is my honor to introduce to you Laura Turner Seidel. Laura's home is Echo Manor, and if you've had a chance to look around, you can see that this residence personifies that being environmentally careful and good stewards of our resources does not have to be boring. It can be joyful, it can be family friendly, and it can be a very big pleasure to be in this beautiful space that's so thoughtfully thought out for us. Thank you for having us in your home. It's really remarkable, and I, for one, am walking around looking at all kinds of the details here. Very, very lovely. Laura and I met years ago with her involvement as co-chair of the Captain Planet Foundation. Laura comes from a legacy of concerned environmentalism and being good stewards of our community and our planet, and very early on developed a passion for educating children around environmental concerns.
She gets some too.
Through the foundation, Captain, have you recognized Laura Turner Seidel?
I've retired my cat.
This is just unbelievable. My daughter, who's been homesick all day, looked out the window and said, "Mom, don't keep it." You know, all the furniture, the lively, wonderful atmosphere, and my 17-year-old is having her junior, senior coming up, and she's like, "Mom, can we keep it?" Because she's having all the girls spend the night over here on Saturday night. But needless to say, thank you for being here. I want to point out, I've seen a lot of bid sheets around on this amazing silent auction displayed upstairs and downstairs in the house. And to better help Doc and his efforts in putting in wells in these water-constrained communities and providing clean water for men and women and children to be able to have some quality of life, we need you to bid often and high. That goes for the silent auction and, of course, the live auction that will start in a few minutes. I just want to say, too, that, you know, building this house was one of the best things that we ever did, because it's been like a community model. It's bigger than it should be. When my dad first saw it, he's like, "Laura, it's too big, it can't be environmental." But if we had a 2,500 square foot house, we couldn't have opened it up as a model to the community. We've had given so many public tours, we've had so many great events, and we've raised a lot of money, a lot of awareness. You can't see them, but we actually have solar panels, geothermal heating and cooling, which has been very efficient, tankless water heaters. And if you're redoing your house or adding on to your home, you can go to our website, because I don't want to get bogged down in too many of the details, but you can see what we did here, and maybe some of the products that we used or the technologies we used 7 years ago. And believe me, there's a lot better choices now. The technology is greater, much more improved, and you can do some of the simple and easy things we did, like getting rid of toxic chemicals in the paints, the cleaners, the stains.
Thank you, Laura, for that really great speech and for the kind words. It's my pleasure to welcome everybody here. This is a great function, and I'm so proud. I'm in the hospitality business a little bit too on some of the ranches, and for 10 years or 20 years I owned the Omni Hotel, so I know what that is too. So it's really great to have you here, and I'm in the restaurant business obviously with Ted's Bartender. So anyway, we have a wonderful time. I'm so proud to meet Doc Hendley and see the great work he's done. Thank you so much for doing that, making a great contribution in the world. Thank you all very much.
Any of y'all that know my story Some of y'all here do, some of y'all don't, but probably know that a lot of my life I never really felt like I belonged anywhere. And it's happened since I was little. It's happening tonight. When Carol called a while back and said, "Yeah, I think we got it to where Ted Turner can introduce you." I'm like, "Wait, isn't that backwards?" It's like the president of the United States introducing the maintenance guy or something. You know, it doesn't make sense to me. And I've always felt like that. Ever since I was even little, growing up in a family where you feel like everybody around you is perfect and has achieved so much. You know, I came from, my brothers and sisters were a lot farther ahead than I was in a scholarly sense, and even on the athletic sense. I came from a family where my granddaddy played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's something that changed my life, and I hope that you all tonight, if anything of tonight comes, I hope you learn about this world's water crisis and go back and do some research on your own. But I hope even something greater comes too. I hope that you can look inside yourself and see that it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what status of life. It doesn't matter if you're here, what your job is, or what you do. You as an individual have the ability to change the world around you. You can change your communities. We have huge needs, as Laura was pointing out here. Just in our own communities, you can be active, you can change the lives of people right here, you can change lives globally. I don't care what your name is, what your job is, whether you have one, whether you don't, you can change this world. And if I'm not living, walking, breathing, drinking proof of that, then I don't know anybody else that is, because I still am about the most regular and maybe even a little bit below average person that you might ever meet. So y'all, thank you so much for having us here. And again, the auction items in there, whoever has put on this, I'm not even going to go through that long list of folks. This is amazing. This event has been our biggest event every single year since it started. This is the 4th year now. This has been the greatest supporter to our organization that allows us to do the
Doc was a CNN hero in 2009. He was chosen and nominated amongst 5,000 others. Was it 9,000? 9,000. And the people on that panel were Mr. Turner, Nelson Mandela, Elton John, and some others. But anyhow, they chose Doc as one of the 10 finalists, and he's been going strong ever since. So I'm turning back over here to Carol.
Well, I wanted to, before we get started on the live auction portion, I wanted to thank Laura once again and bring her up and give her a gift from Doc and a gift from Sight Southeast. Thank you so much, Laura. Your hospitality and your eloquence, very, very moving, and we appreciate it. I wanted to kind of remind you about the structure of the auction. We're going to auction off 3 or 4 items now in a live auction format. Then we're going to turn you loose with a bar and ask you to browse the lower level of the house, which is filled with wonderful travel packages. We also have a connoisseur's table right inside the door, right off the great room, with some of our more elaborate and interesting packages, and there's some fabulous things there. So please do be sure that you've covered the entire house, because we have surprises everywhere. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our auctioneer. She has wonderful stage presence. She will get your last dollar out of you, I promise. Please welcome Deborah Edwards. And if she doesn't, Josh and I will be here to help her, right?
Note to self, fashion faux pas. Garden party, 6-inch heels, not good. I've already fallen down twice. I'm working on it. Thank you so much for coming tonight, and it's